International Women's Day was celebrated on the 8th of March with an ode to women all across the world. With women's rights and gender equality taking center stage, this year's theme for International Women's Day was I Am Generation Equality, Realizing Women's Rights. The first International Women's Day occurred in 1911, supported by over 1 million people. Today, the day belongs to everyone, everywhere. It is not any country, group or organization specific. Delhi University organized a roundtable conference on the occasion. On the various dimensions of women empowerment in today's times, women shared their thoughts on what they think about being a woman and the progress made by women across India.
Although women empowerment seems to be a very cliche kind of a subject, but there are many new dimensions which have been added. We women were called the weaker sex, but we all know, and we had to struggle not only from our birth, but before birth also. We all know about the sex determination test and all the kind of things which happen. But we have overcome all those things, and you can see an all-women panel. Of course, our professor in charge is there, but he is also going to talk on women empowerment only.
Nation is part of the world, so we are building the world. So one person, one woman sitting in one place, small place, house doesn't have to be a big place, is having such an impact, the ripple effect it has. And this affects the entire universe. And it's not just a gender issue. If it's a woman, then the ripple effect it is happening in this universe is also to do with the behavior of the woman. More compassion, more love, more patience, more tolerance. So why would we ever look down upon such a person?
Quoting examples from the Rig Veda, women participants talked about the importance and value placed on women's rights in ancient times.
We do see in what is considered as the first book of humankind, Rig Veda, we find that there are suktas which are written by women rishikas. Like, for example, one of them called Ghosha. She writes, or that sukta says that just like the way a father has a responsibility to educate a boy, in the same way I want also to be educated. And there are many such examples. We see that there are many designations which were given to women in these scriptures. Those who were dedicated for study of the scriptures, of the Vedas, they were called as Brahmavadinis. While those who used to get married and still were continuing with the study of the scriptures, they were called as Sadhyodas. And those who were in the teaching, those who used to teach, they were called as Upadhyayas. So with these so many designations themselves show that they had a very active role to play within the society, and they had many more roles to take, just being those who were rearing a family.
Women's education has become an integral part of any nation's path to development. The conference saw speakers talk about girls enrolling in higher education more and more.
women are increasingly admitted to universities. Is it to do with the fact that in school going and undergraduation that girls are doing better than men? The answer is yes. If you look in undergraduate, there is something called the annual survey which the MHRD brings out, and if you look at that data, it tells you that in traditional subjects like social sciences, arts, humanities, women are there in any case more than 50%. And if you look at quote unquote professional courses like law, medicine, engineering, women are rapidly increasing even in so-called hard subjects like engineering and allied subjects. Now, why I am focusing on law particularly is it's a happy thing for us to note, and maybe Delhi University should keep this in mind, that 1924 is the first year that a woman got enrolled in the Bar Council at Allahabad High Court. The rules were changed to permit Cornelia Sorabji to seek enrollment. She is a woman advocate who studied in Bombay, went on and was the first woman to graduate from Oxford, and then came back to India to study but could not get enrolled. And the Bar Council of Allahabad had to change its rules, the High Court had to change its rules, and it's 1924. And I think as the Faculty of Law, it would be a good occasion for us to work and to celebrate 100 years of women in the legal profession.
The Generation Equality campaign is bringing together people from across genders, age, ethnicity, race, religion, and country to work towards creating a gender equal world.
One of the examples that come across is that of Hansa Mehta, a woman who donned many hats. She was, of course, a member of the Constituent Assembly and was also, if I'm not wrong, the first Vice Chancellor of the SNDT University, Mumbai. She, besides contributing in many ways as her role in the Constituent Assembly, and the various interventions which she made over there, she did something which I think was extraordinary, and that was that when United Nations was taking form and the Charter of Human Rights was being decided, the Human Rights Charter was being decided upon. At that time, she was a part of the Indian representatives, who were there as part while formation of United Nations was taking place. And she, while the discussion was going on deciding that what would be the first charter of United Nations, which was being discussed, was that the first line has to be that all men are born free and equal. So it was Hansa Mehta, none other than Hansa Mehta, who raised her hand and she intervened that if you are going to just talk about men, where are women and children going to go? And that is how the very thought of that all humans are born free and equal, that came into being.
Gender equality is essential for economies and communities to thrive.
As the day unfolds and news and events take shape, we get you complete coverage. of every news breaking in, tracking new developments as they happen. Midday Prime English, Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. on DD News and DD India.
A quick look at the day's top news. 100 big stories from across the country and the world in just 30 minutes. Watch Express News Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. only on DD India.
और इस गीत के बाद
छाया गीत में
But won the first prize.
जनाब बहुत रोमांटिक रही है
Ahead of the trade negotiations that are slated
दिवस के साथ
it have undergone 9 revisions. Coley with 903 rating points is 34 points behind Smith 900.
This is All India Radio. The news read by Anuja Kumar.
नमस्कार
The effort is on for a gender equal boardroom or a gender equal government, or media coverage which is gender equal, or more gender equality in health and wealth.
We do come across certain experiences wherein we find that yes, why it is so. Is it that it is happening because we are from a softer side? I think we need to understand, of course I'm not a legal expert, but what I understand this entire phenomena as far as gender issue, or we say that women role, women participation in different walks of life. I think we should understand it not as in terms of men and women, we need to understand in terms of masculinity and femininity.
हमने ज़्यादा इस चीज़ पे एम्फेसाइज़ किया इस पैनल डिस्कशन में कि कौन कौन से ऐसे नए एरियाज़ हैं जिसमें औरतें उभर के आगे आ रही हैं और कानूनी तौर पे क्या क्या बदलाव आया है और आगे किस किस बदलाव की आवश्यकता है. बिकॉज़ जैसे कि आप ये टॉपिक देख सकते हैं, विमेन एम्पावरमेंट न्यू डायमेंशंस. पिछले 2 सालों में हमारी जुडिशरी ने ऐसे बहुत सारे लैंडमार्क जजमेंट्स दिए हैं, जैसे कि अभी बहुत ही रिसेंटली आपने सुना होगा औरतों को कॉम्बैट रोल्स में जो उनका एक पार्ट लेने के लिए इजाज़त दी गई है. उसके अलावा कोर्ट्स ने बोला है कि रात को औरतों को नाइट शिफ्ट में काम करने की इजाज़त दी जाए. हमारी क्या आदत है कि हम औरतों को उनकी सुरक्षा का हवाला दे करके उनके ऊपर रिस्ट्रिक्शंस लगा देते हैं, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं करना है। हमें औरतों को बढ़ावा देना है कि वो नाइट शिफ्ट्स में भी काम कर सकें। हमारी 50% पॉपुलेशन औरतों की है। अगर हम किसी ना किसी बहाने से उनको काम करने से रोकेंगे तो कोई भी देश कैसे प्रगति कर सकता है। उसके अलावा एक ट्रिपल तलाक का जजमेंट आया, एडल्ट्री को डीक्रिमिनलाइज कर दिया गया। उसके अलावा मैरिटल रेप की जो उम्र है उसे 15 से बढ़ा करके जो 18 कर दिया गया है। इस तरीके के बहुत ही लैंडमार्क जजमेंट्स आए हैं जिसमें कि हमारे जुडिशरी ने बहुत ही अच्छे जजमेंट्स दिए हैं और औरतों की बराबरी की बात की है। इसके अलावा क्योंकि यहाँ पर एक लॉ डिपार्टमेंट में डिस्कशन हुआ तो ये बात करनी भी बहुत ज़रूरी थी कि आज के दिन हम सिर्फ मेन और विमेन की बात नहीं करते हैं। जेंडर इक्वालिटी, हर तरीके के लोग, जो ट्रांसजेंडर लोग हैं, जो इंटरसेक्स लोग हैं, सबको एक इक्वालिटी दी जाए, एक इक्विटेबल और एक डिग्निफाइड एग्जिस्टेंस का अधिकार दिया जाए। यहाँ पर बात की गई है ह्यूमन वर्थ की, ह्यूमन डिग्निटी की, कि सिर्फ उन्हें कि आपका जन्म एक औरत के तौर पे हुआ है तो इसको एक बहाना बना करके आपके ऊपर रिस्ट्रिक्शंस नहीं लगाए जा सकते हैं।
Small actions can have big impacts, and in making a gender equal world, everyone needs to join hands.
It's a very happy occasion that in the last few years itself, we have had so many important judgments from the Supreme Court dealing with women's rights within the family. Okay? And I'm going to just quickly touch on a couple that I think are important. The Shaira Banu case. If you've not read it, please read it. If you're not a law person, just go onto the internet and read it. Law is not only for lawyers, law is for everybody. Our society runs on law, it runs on rule of law, and it is something, a discipline that needs to be appropriated by everybody. What is the Shaira Banu case? It's about the triple talaq case that Professor Bhatt also briefly talked about. The leading judgment says it did not go into the question of whether religious personal laws should treat men and women equally. It didn't do that. And this is an interesting point for us in the legal profession, the reasoning. They decided not to talk about religious personal laws. But the lead judgment of Justice Rohinton Nariman, I'd like to just discuss because I think that this is a very important point. What did Justice Rohinton Nariman say? He says that I strike down the rule of triple talaq where you will be divorced in one go, not because I think divorce is bad. If you have an unhappy marriage, the rights of both spouses, they have a right to get out of an unhappy marriage. But I strike down the triple talaq because it is arbitrary. It is manifestly arbitrary. So I strike it down because it's so arbitrary. You give a right to the man to strike it down and you don't give a similar right to the woman. But even if the woman had that right in itself, to dissolve a marriage at one stroke in the matter of few seconds is manifestly arbitrary.